coaching since 1996 for 24 years. What have you learned in your coaching years in those, 24 years as a professional coach?
Well, you learn a lot of stuff. You're learning more in America, dealing with parents, dealing with different kind of situations that basically make you stronger,
Yeah.
and learn how you can handle better every single years. With your players, how we can improve it like a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of points in this package. And you
Yeah.
learn.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw that you trained women, you've trained young players, and then you trained, I believe, I have it right here, the Venezuelan national team. You were a team assistant coach from 2001 to 2011 to 2013, right?
Yeah, I was helping them. Yeah.
What would you say the difference is between coaching, players on a national level, women, and then young children right now?
Well, it's a huge step.
Yeah.
You coaching players. They've come for Europe, and they play in the top level, and of course it's a different level. Actually, also I was in Qatar last December
Oh, wow.
for the World Cup for the
Yeah.
club, and I was helping the Monterrey, the Mexican team,
Mm.
helping try to be there and whatever they needed, and you can see that the level uh, coaching those guys and
Yeah.
helping is top level.
Oh, definitely. And also the women's side, it's for some reason, and there could be a different factors. Maybe, women don't pull in as much people's attention, sales, stuff like that. But when it comes to the women's side, it's actually something that for some reason people don't pay enough attention to. And I was talking to Jeff, who's actually on the FC Dallas as well, and he coaches the women's side. And so we're supposed to have an interview here today at 2 p.m. But the difference between women and men, what do you think that difference is between playing styles and just overall mentality?
Well, I've been coaching girls, and
Mm-hmm.
where I come from in Argentina,
Yeah,
ladies not playing soccer.
yeah.
So for me, first was like no disagree, but that was like in my country, ladies not playing soccer.
Oh,
But
wow.
later when I started coaching,
Mm,
and so a lot of different, they're learning pretty quick.
mm-hmm.
They're learning pretty quick. They're easy going. Of course, the few aspects the girls have, sometimes little drama and between them, but it's something that you can working on it. And but at the end of the days, you see they're world champions. So they have something different. You know, and also I think they focus more in one two things, and in the men's side, they're playing football, they're playing baseball, they're playing
Yeah.
soccer. So the ladies, the girls, I think they focus more in one two things, and I think
Mm.
they do better. That's the reason why I believe they are world champions.
Yeah, for sure. And also like when it comes to the women's side, they build a team. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, but when I was in high school, I always obviously played for the high school soccer team, and then I watched the other women play, but the women had like a better connection with the team emotionally. And so that allowed them to bond more. They could go out and have fun after a game. They could go and eat, go out, and then the men would go out, party. But then it was like, all right, now we're going to disconnect, and then we're going to connect once training. And women's, even after they finish the game, they would still connect. So it'd build a deeper connection with them, you know? And
Yeah.
in your 24 years as a pro coach, what is your coaching philosophy on coaching young players?
Well, I was raised in Argentina,
Okay.
so my country soccer is treat the ball very good,
Okay.
and plus the club I come from, the Argentino Juniors, is a club that was teaching us to play good soccer. So
Mhm.
basically, my philosophy is, put the ball on the ground and have fun and play good soccer and treat the ball very well.
Yeah.
It has balance, because
Mhm.
sometimes we're talking about English soccer,
Yeah.
we talk Spain soccer, and I think if you can mix all those great things that all those countries have, and you can make a balance, they can be better. You can play long ball and you can
Mhm.
play short ball.
Yeah.
You can be more direct, or you can be more little tiki taka.
Yeah.
So I think you can do the balance.
Okay. And how do you find that balance?
Well, it's training
Mhm.
and be sure that your players, they get the message, and do practice and show what style you're looking for, and also depends the player you have,
Yeah.
um, if you have players technically very good, it's more easy to do
Yeah.
what you're looking for,
Yeah, and also speaking on like players that are more technical, obviously there's just players that are more technically better, better footwork, better movement, and other players you can say they're smarter. They have in soccer they call it higher IQ or whatever. But what's something that isn't talked about is the confidence, as a player, how important it is. How do you develop confidence in young players so that they can actually believe on themselves, take risk without fearing failure on the field?
well, that's one point that you touched very good, because I believe and this stuff is not only the coach. I think it's a
Yes.
package for the parents too. You know,
Yes. Yeah.
I think in my case, when I used to go playing, my dad used to me support me. Sometimes he used to go, sometimes not.
Yeah.
Here you see the parents that supporting the kids every single time, so that their confidence is a little better. And later the coach need to believe the players they can do it, and
Hmm.
need to believe they're good and they are good enough. And I think there's a motivation you can put into the players so they can improve more, and also make it feel the players that you're his friend. So when you play for your friend, or you do something for your friend, you do much better, because
Oh yeah.
you don't want to look back when you're friend.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
our my philosophy is that, I have players, they know what they do wrong, what they do good,
Hmm.
and I put a little challenger to them to prove me that I was wrong to put him in the bench.
Mm.
To prove me that what he didn't practice, um, that was good enough to play. To prove
Yeah.
me discipline, to prove me responsibility. But that,
Yeah.
like I say, is it's sometimes how your parents raising you, and the coach, they do their part. Sometimes we cannot do it. It's very hard.
Yeah, and yeah, that like that parent stuff also like bringing down, certain values, beliefs, not just in the game but outside the game.
Correct.
In other words, I was having a soccer interview with a European scout who's been coaching for 15 years. And he said that part of the biggest reason is the parents, making the sacrifice, the commitment. Like you can't just say, hey, believe in yourself, make sacrifices. If like, for example, your parents telling you that, but then they're not making the sacrifices for you, or not only on you but outside of soccer.
Exactly.
As children, it's all about, at least it's about seeing your parents like, okay, is he just saying this, or because they watch the actions, what is it that you do? And you might not know it consciously, but I believe like subconsciously you're taking in all this information at such a young age that just makes up your success in soccer and outside of soccer.
Of course.
I was watching a soccer interview with Sir Alex Ferguson. He led the Manchester United soccer team. He had Wayne Rooney, and Javier Chicharito and all those. And he talks about making sacrifices as a player, but also that isn't talked about is how much courage does it actually take to pursue your soccer dreams? Because everybody talks about, hey, work hard, believe in yourself, be determined. But if you don't believe or have the courage, how will you actually make those dreams a reality? And the question is, how can you actually instill in a player courage to actually go for their dreams? Because that's something that isn't, talked about enough, is actually going for it.
Well, me like a coach, I was talking a few days ago for a lot of people ask me about those guys been playing in the first teams for FC Dallas.
Yeah.
And me and other coaches, we coached those guys for many years in the academy.
Hmm.
And when I was talking to them, I say, we're training here to be there. Where's there? The stadium. Okay?
Okay.
And nobody give you anything. But how we encourage is sometimes we know how to coach only on the field. We
Yeah.
need to coach outside the field
Mm.
because I believe we are soccer human. So
Yeah.
we make mistakes and we need
Hmm.
to somebody beside our parents. And you've been playing, you many times you listen more to your coach and your parents. And
Yeah.
that happens. We don't know why, but if your coach say, hey, I don't want this, you do it. Probably if your parents say, you're like, oh, well, maybe you pay attention, maybe not.
Yeah.
And that happened to me. The parents called me and say, hey, Victor, help me out with this. Or, when I used to call ladies, hey,
Yeah.
coach, I need you to help me out with part of the things I have problem, and I used to fix it right away.
Mm.
Um, I think it's very important how you can help your players outside the field more, give you a little more details about how they can handle life, what are the
Mm.
good things they can do, what do they know how to do, and also let it see how great things they have,
Yeah.
to play pro. Um, and also let you know too, if you don't make a pro, it's no big deal. You can be a professional, you can be a lawyer, you can still play soccer, but for sure you will be a good person.
Oh yeah.
And you encourage to be whatever they want, had to be a successful person in the future. Of course, everybody want to be a pro and playing around 90,000 people
Yeah.
and make good money and be in pictures.
Hmm.
But do you know, Alexander, the soccer is a little pyramid, it's a little triangle. You
Yeah.
know, here is a lot of people, but when they go to here to go through to the pro, it's not too many.
Yeah.
It's only one or two. So you need to prepare the player to let you know that can happen, that they cannot happen.
Yeah, and I think that's also why I talk about parents is my father always told me, he at a young age he took me to work to the orchards picking apples, and he said, son, he's like, only one or two people will ever, call it make it. And he said, but the reality is, it's like you need to be prepared because the outside world, not just in soccer, it's going to be brutal. you know,
Exactly.
and most parents, at least what I've seen, tell their kids or their players, hey, it's going to be all right, you're going to be fine. And then the kid or the player goes into the field thinking, hey, my parents told me it was going to be fine, why am I being mistreated on the soccer field?
Of course.
We do it to not hurt the kids feelings, but in reality, let's say 5 6 years down the line, they get beat up by the real world and
Exactly.
destroyed, and they just can't take it. And then
Yeah.
this leads to my next question: how important is it to build mental toughness as a player and as a person to handle rejection, failure, when they tell you no, so you can keep persisting? And because 1 out of 10,000 players will make it, that's a 0.002%
Exactly.
become a pro. How do you best prepare them in as a coach, as a parent?
Well, like I say, we the coaches, we try to do the best
Hmm.
to encourage them and help them,
Yeah.
and be sure they don't fail. You know, but it's also it's the parents' work too.
Yeah.
One of the questions I was reading from you is how how important is the parent support, or
Hmm.
how bad they can be. And I tell you right now, in Dallas, the soccer is very bad. The
Hmm.
parents, they're. I just came out from a daughter game, uh, 10 years old girls, and you had to hear those parents. and
Yeah.
they just want to win. Their girls is the best in the world, and they are the best and the best, and the coach can do that. Of course, like in every single uh, business or big
Hmm.
company, you have a great coaches and you have very bad coaches, or you have
Yeah.
good coaches. Um, but parents had to let it handle the coaches the
Yeah.
sort of situation. Now, like I'm parents because I'm both side right now.
Hmm.
I used to be only coach, and now I see the other side.
Mm.
If I'm taking my daughter to one club, I will be sure the coach will be good for my daughter. That she will
Yeah.
learn, she will understand the coach, and she will have fun. And if you're not happy about it, end of the contract and take it away. You have parents, they talk about the coach, they try to looking for something in the coach, or the coach is racist, or the coach is this,
Hmm.
or they don't like my daughter, or they don't like my kids,
Yeah.
or and my kids is the best. He should be playing all game, and it's pretty hard because you like a coach, you have to make it happy. 36 parents, you have to make happy mama and daddy.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to make happy grandma because
Yeah.
a lot of grandmas coming, grandpas coming.
Yeah.
So I think this is a package, Alexander.
Yeah.
Um, I have teams like my O8 boys playing Classic 2,
Yeah.
and those boys been playing for Plano League, and now we're playing Classic 2.
Yeah.
And I looking around, my parents, they are fantastic. They are very nice. And I know they get mad with me sometimes because when you make a decision, nobody will be happy about it.
Yeah.
But end of the day, they know what I try to do is the best for the kids. Not for FC Dallas, not for Victor Medina, it's
Yeah.
for the kids. And you see end of the season, we winning games, the boys learning, and everybody's happy. You know, it's pretty hard to keep things like that, but
Mm.
when you got good parents, they know and they respect your career because they know I'm a rookie coach. They
Mhm.
know all things I won in FC Dallas, all the things I've been doing. Like yesterday, I have a 4 hours congress by online.
Mhm.
Was FIFA, was Brazil Federation, Argentina Federation, Mexican teams,
Yeah.
team for Chile, all pro teams asking me, what are we doing in FC Dallas? How we work to make a lot of pro players to the first team, you
Yeah.
know? And there's a lot of things, but the more important thing is the parents. Because if you know how your mama and your daddy, they support and they respect the coach and they respect the system. If they're not happy, taking your kids away and putting somewhere else.
Yeah.
Don't look in always the coach is the problem. Don't look in always something's the problem, but not you. No, you okay. No, it's not that way. Because like last time, my daughter playing, 10 minutes only.
Yeah.
And she was upset. So when I see in the car to her, I say, so what do you think? Well, I should be playing more. What do you think you should play more? What do you do in practice? Are you doing good in practice? Are you working hard in practice? What do you think? I know, like a coach, I know come to other coaches say, hey, my daughter had to play because I'm better coach you, or I'm know about more. No, 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 no. I'm parents.
Mhm.
So I had to handle with my kids, the right way. So next practice, they don't give them 100%. They give it 120% or
Mm.
150%.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And show they want to play.
Yeah. Because also, I've noticed a former MLS pro, Wells Thompson, said he's like, I think what most parents do, parents should just focus on being a parent. And parents want sometimes they want to turn into the coach when they're on the field. Instead of just parenting, telling their kids, hey, you can improve on this. Hey, you did a great job today. Instead of going and yelling to the coach, hey, why didn't you put my kid in? He's better than all these players. He's the most impactful players. He has goals, but But then the coach realizes, because deep down the coach is like, if you should have seen your son in practice or your daughter in practice, what he was really doing, you wouldn't be telling me, hey, put my kid. And then he brought a great perspective. He's like, I think what coaches can do is to invite the parents secretly so that nobody knows that they're being watched by the parent and see what they do, what your son does. No
Exactly.
one knows and see and be like, and then I want you to come back to me and say, hey, does your son really deserve? But without them knowing, he's like, you'd be surprised what players do when their parents aren't watching and when they are. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, he's like, now that brought back many memories. I'm like, yeah, because there was times when I was super strict. I wanted to play, I wanted to win, but I was like, yeah, it's just time to mess around, play muff. Let's just juggle the ball and play free kicks and penalty kicks and stuff like that. And I guess that's my next question. How do you find the balance between having fun as a young player so that you can enjoy the game, but also, focusing on the fundamentals so you can actually win and on player development?
That's a great point, Alexander,
Yeah.
because actually this morning I was talking to one parent about it
Mm-hmm.
since my daughter was playing, and I remember when I was 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, and I say sometimes the system they push us to don't be a kid, they
Mm-hmm.
don't enjoy, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just you have a lot of talent. Okay, you practice every day, 5 hours per day, and this and that, and the kids get born,
Yeah.
and they don't enjoy it, you know. And what I try to do with my teams, I'm coaching, 11 years old boys, 12 years old boys, is to try to do the practice fun, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, with we need to work serious, they know that we can have fun anyway,
Mm-hmm.
but we can work serious, you know,
Yeah.
because one of the things that I explain to the parents and my players is, you know, you paying for you keep playing soccer, okay? But you have money today and tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
you don't have. But the
Yeah.
time is gone. You
Yeah.
can bring it back. You can buy time.
Mm-hmm.
So end of the day, I don't want you to come to me and say, my kids never learn, never have fun. No, 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 no. You probably will say, you know what? My son have fun, learn. Maybe I don't like your system, how you coach, but my kids good is better, you know?
Yeah.
And the same thing, you do fun games with the little ones. You play with them around, and you play mini games because everybody looking to love to shoot the ball,
Yeah.
and you can find a way. But they had to understand too, be a select player. There is a limit, so you can have fun, but at the same time take it serious. You know.
Yeah, because I've been on teams where back in when I was 8, 9 years old, I had a coach who was just fun. But I wanted to win. I was one of the few players that actually wanted to win because I've always said, soccer is more fun when you're actually winning. You know,
Exactly.
and people, argue that like, no, soccer is still fun. I'm like, it's not fun when you're getting beat when you go a season 0-15. It's not fun. It demotivates the kid.
It's true.
Yeah. But also, I was also on a super strict team one time, and it was just like, all right, our goal is just to win, dominate, beat the other team. It doesn't matter if we beat them 10-0. But then it's like, man, it's almost like you get too tired of winning. You're like, dude, like we need a little bit more fun. Like let go on the trigger and stuff like that so that we can actually enjoy the game because I think that's one of the reasons why some kids um, become pros is because they train super hard, but because they don't let go. And I have my dad has a friend who his son started playing soccer at 5 years old, and he was always regarded the most talented kid in Washington State. Okay, but his parent drilled on him, hey dude, you have great talent, keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working. And at 14, doing it for 8 years almost every day, he gave up. He said soccer isn't for me anymore, and
Yeah.
now he's into boxing. What do you think that change happen? Was it because they just kept telling him and they overwhelmed him with, hey, win, keep going, keep going, keep going, don't stop, don't stop?
Is you killing something you have inside, you
Yeah,
know. Is something that the kids wanna. Some kids they have different prospect, they have different project, different goal, you
yeah,
know. Some players, you hear them, oh, just I want to play in college, and I want to get education. And you got other players, they want to be pro.
yeah,
uh, and and but I believe, you like a parents, you got to be very careful how you push your kids,
yeah.
when I see them, when my two girls, I'm divorced, but now I have the custody.
Hmm.
uh, the first things I ask them is, what do you want to do?
Hmm.
Yeah, you want to do dancing, you want to do music, you want to do guitar, you want to do, I don't know, whatever. No, daddy, we want to play soccer. Are you sure you want to play soccer? Why? Because daddy used to play soccer, because daddy coach, or because you really love it too? And they
Mm.
say, no, daddy, we want to do it because we love it. And I say, look, it's a sacrifice. You will have fun, but like today, how cold is Dallas. Games 8 in the morning with 40 degrees, and you can tell me, no, daddy, I don't want to go play, because that's not the way. You will have fun, but you got to be consistent, and you know what you want. And they have fun. They do fun practice. They want to play. They won. They're happy, and they lose. And I said, "Why you lost?" And for different reason, but they still, be what they want. Pushing too much, I think, is, you know, kind of you killing that little thing you got inside.
Yeah,
And with my boy, I said, "Why you playing soccer?" "Well, I'm playing because you used to play." I said, "Son, you do whatever you want. What do you want to do?" "Well, I want to play American soccer." "Let's go. American football. Let's go. Do what you want. Do what you make you happy.
yeah,
Don't do what your parents or your friends do it. You know." And I
yeah,
think that's the best way we can encourage our kids. Telling them what they want to be. No, because you know how many parents they're frustrated. They used to be soccer player and they want the son or the daughter to be what Anne was. That's the wrong
hmm,
message. You know?
yeah. And also you touched on a great point. So back to that player, he has a brother, and he got into soccer. And at first, we none of us realized it. I didn't know it, but the first he was good and he had a lot of talent. He was getting most of his attention from his parents as well. And this is where it started to go downhill. And then the younger kid went into soccer, but he wasn't that good. He just wanted to go in there because he just wasn't getting as much attention from his parents or from his players as the others, and so he felt left out. And so that's the only reason why he went into soccer. But when he went in there, no one gave him the attention because he wasn't as talented as his brother.
It's true.
I guess the question is, how, as a parent, can you manage that? Because you also said, asking your children, what do you want to do? But then asking them why. That why question is super important.
Yeah,
Specifically, is it just because your brother's getting all the attention and he's winning? Is it because you actually love it? Or is it because maybe you're just bored and you don't have nothing to do?
exactly. Yeah.
Right?
It's
Okay.
also, Alexander, is a little also the system that we have in
Hmm.
in America.
Yeah.
How many families, the father and the mother working all day, and they come back home, and the first things they want to do is they want to take a break. They want to relax. They
Yeah.
don't want to take the kids to soccer practice or baseball practice or whatever. And they might be taking one of the kids, and the other one is at home, and then the kids don't pay attention.
Yeah.
That's what our coaches, we have a lot of good feeling on them, because we asking them, how you feeling, how you doing, how's school doing, hey, great job, what you did, come on, keep going. Some parents, they come in and they just, you know they didn't even ask how was school.
Yeah.
And so it's different things. they can make you a very sport professional or whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
And like I say, always will say, it's all package. Because I can do fantastic job,
Hmm.
but when you go home, you have the other life
Yeah.
when you focus, you know. And it depends on them too. It's not only coaches, you know. It's a package.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think there's a point that we can talk for hours and hours, and I believe a lot of coaches and
Yeah.
a lot of parents will be agree about it.
Yeah, and now moving two more questions here because I don't want to take a lot of your time, but moving into parents, we touched a little bit on it, but how as a parent, how can parents or what can parents do to bring the best out of their players so that they actually have the best chance on becoming a professional, if that's their goal, of course, if that's their goal to become a pro? What can a parent do? What would you recommend?
Well, what I recommend like a parents is just bring to the coach, search the coach, what he been doing, what kind of style they have, what are they looking for, and if they think it's the right coach, leave it in their hands.
Yeah.
Don't tell the coach what he got to do, what
Yeah.
he don't have to do, and coaching in the soccer games, telling the kids, uh, shooting, don't dribble, and
Yeah.
you're coaching, and you got the coach, and most of the parents, they never kick one soccer ball in their life. They don't
Exactly.
know if the soccer ball is bouncing because they have a air or because they have a throw inside. You know what I mean? They don't have any clue.
Yeah. Also, it brings back a lot of memories too. That I would notice when going to games. Also, how parents like just demoralize their children's morale is when they make a mistake. They yell immediately, like saying, "Oh my God, you should have passed the ball. You should have." But then
Yeah,
in my head, I'm like, "Well, I want to see you in that situation. What you would have done."
exactly.
I got scared and kicked the ball, like a lot of players, they get the ball and just kick it because they get scared. Or would you actually would have made the best decisions? But a lot of players, they cuss at their players, and there's hundreds of people watching, and they don't care. There's those players, and then there's the other players like, all right, it's all good, man. It's all good. You got it. Regroup, get back together. You made a mistake. Get yourself back together. But then there's those parents that just kill everything. They're just like energy suckers, I like to call them. Like they suck the energy out of every player and the coach and everybody. Um,
And you got the other parents, Alexander, like I say, they are very good, and they say, "Hey, Victor, they're happy to me. This is my son.
yeah.
You do whatever you think, and support you." You
Mm,
know, and they are on the line, and they are in every single practice. They are in every single game, and sometimes we like a coaches we yelling to,
well,
and they say, coach, you know what are you doing?
yeah,
You know what you want? And those kids go far away. And the other side, the kid is have a lot of talent. He's very good, but the parents is top of the everything.
yeah,
If you see now for the technology, every single thing they do, they put in Facebook, they put in Instagram,
yeah,
videos and pictures. My son, how good he is, and this and that. You hurt your son, you hurt your kids because they believe they are already stars. They think,
yeah,
you know, and they didn't even started yet. You know, they
yep,
have a long, long, long way to go. And so parents got to be careful with that. Parents got to step out and just let the coach do the job. Like I say, you got bad coaches, you got good coaches, and you got very good coaches.
yeah,
But I think it's the best way because uh, in the soccer career that I know a lot of kids, they don't play anymore because of parents,
wow,
and they were super good. They were fantastic soccer players, unbelievable. But the parents they're behind all the time, you know. And the long way or in the short way, they hurt the kids. And when they want to try to fix that, it's too late
yeah,
because happen little Johnny my teams really good. And I started searching with other coaches,
Yeah.
and the coach say, "Hey, Victor, good luck." I said, "What do I mean? Those parents, they are very bad." What do they mean? Well, they complain about this, they about this, and always negative and blah and blah.
Yeah.
Ah, so that I said, now I know where he's here. And the other way, where you can fix it, the problems most of the time is when you, before you sign the contract or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you talk to the parents 1v1 or groups, and you tell them what you want. You
Wow.
know, so you're clear in the front.
Yeah.
You no coaching. I don't want you call me every day after practice. I don't want you call me every time after games. I don't want you tell me what I have to do. I don't want to complain about things that don't make a sense. You can tell me, coach, what call me on Monday practice, Tuesday practice, and tell me, coach, what you saw my girl or whatever. I explain to you, but I don't want you call me after the game when we lost.
Yeah.
You're mad, I'm mad, the kid is frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
What it can be a bomb, because
Yeah.
we both talk. You know, when you're mad, you say things you shouldn't say.
Yep.
Um, so I think it's very important that you be in the front with the parents and you tell them what you want. And later they can tell you, "Oh, you never told me, coach." No, 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 no. I told you how I work, how's my coaching style, what they're looking for my team, what they're looking for your kids. You know?
Yeah, and I think that'd be a great strategy. Not only would you prevent players from stopping their career, because as a coach you can say, hey, you know what, this is what I expect, this is what I want. If you're not cool with those suggestions, well then I'm not the right coach you can go.
Exactly.
Because then you set the dimension, you've set the standards for a parent. And if a parent wants to lash out, he remembers, okay, remember what he told me, I'm just going to keep my cool. And not only that, but it keeps the player focused, because it allows them to know, okay, this is what I expect from my coach. I know what this is about, instead of just joining a team and the coach saying, welcome to the team, we're going to try to win. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Again, then there comes, because the coach said, he's like, soccer is just all about opinions. He said, a parent thinks this, a player thinks this, a coach thinks this.
Everybody's coaching.
Yeah.
You know, when soccer is more in my country, you can maybe watch the game and grandma is behind and she might be say something
Yeah.
and you might turn around and you say, that's true, what did she say?
Mm-hmm.
She knows about soccer. She knows what it means.
Yeah.
Last time my mother came here and we went tryouts in FC Dallas, and my mother told me that kid is good. And I said, which one, mom? That one. And I was looking at her and I said, Mommy, you know about, of course, she said, I know about soccer, but you know, you got to be careful and see when you will make opinions. When you will talk about to the coach in person and mention things that you think they agree about it.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, Alexander, it happened to me. The parents was upset with me. They called me Tuesday and said, Coach, can I talk to you about last Saturday? Sure, no problem. And they say, Coach, what you do these apps or what? And I explained to them, and they say, oh, I got it, Coach. Now, I'm sorry, I was mad. Apologize, and thank you for teaching me. So I'm learning now why you do this, because they're not in your mind. Remember, Alexander, you are on the sideline, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got to make a decisions in 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
Or when you make a subs, you got to think about it. And sometimes when you make a subs, that work, and sometimes doesn't. So parents got to know, they don't know what you have in your mind.
Yeah.
And also, if you have 14 players, 15 players, 16 players, and the older ones, you got 21 players, 11 playing, you got to find a way to don't lose, to make subs, and still don't lose in the games.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure that everybody have playing time,
Yeah.
because if little Johnny have 10 and little Victor have 50, the balance is not good enough. So
Yeah.
this one will be complaining about it. So it's hard, because you got to find the balance to make everybody happy, and plus you have to win,
Yeah.
because sometimes when you're winning, you can put, like I would say, the trash under the table. But when you're losing, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
The trash is there, you know. So it's complicated. It's complicated, but
It is.
when you have experience, you try to handle and try to find the best way to everybody keep happy. Everybody.
Yeah, because coaching, I mean, I've never coached besides a few, like coaching my brother, coaching my a friend or whatever that are younger. But when I see coaching, I'm like, it's hard to be a coach for any level. Doesn't matter if you're, Jurgen Klopp training Liverpool, or you're Ronald Koeman, training Barcelona, or you're training the girls. You have to make the parents happy. You have to win. You have to make the players happy. You got to make the players on the bench happy. You got to make sure that the fans are happy. And you got to make sure that you're actually happy as the coach yourself, because then you're going to perform at your best. And I think that's very important. But last question here. Um, out of your 24 years as a coach, what 3 pieces of advice do you have for a young player that can actually improve his chances of becoming a pro?
Well, there's a lot of things, but the 3 ones can be, responsible.
Okay.
I think it's very important.
Responsible.
Um, the other one can be, don't give up your dreams.
Okay. Don't give up.
And number three can be, let me see, um, listen. You know,
Listen.
listen, because sometimes we like a coaches, we're learning things, or like a human being, and sometimes we don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes how many times your parents told you to do things and you never listen to
Yep.
them, and now you
A
say,
lot, a lot
"Oh,
of times.
I should we do that?" I think that's what I have in my mind right now. Maybe something else coming up, but I think that's one of the things coming out. Yeah, I can encourage somebody, to, because remember, Alexander, we in the FCL Academy, we signed in 29 players in the home run, and we working on it with those guys for little ones. Some boys came when 5 years old, and they became pro. So we were in that life for many years,
Yeah.
and we've encouraged them in different ways. Not only me, the other coaches we working with me.
Yeah.
So we give a lot of tools, and I remember, if you don't listen, the coach says something to you, and you don't care,
Yeah.
you know, uh, you might be not playing. You know,
And also learning, last final touches here, like learning to listen is a skill. Learning to actually not just when a coach tells you something, or your parents, it goes through one ear out the other, but actually letting what they said, their advice, sink in, and taking the time to analyze, okay, why, like, where was this person coming from? How can this information help me? How can I utilize this information so it actually helps me on the field and off the field? And
exactly. That's that kind of things that
yeah.
when you became coach, and when I never after playing soccer, I never thought I would be coach. There was
Yeah.
something inside me, and something that was there. And when I wake up, that feelings, that things will start growing.
Mm.
And one of the things the coach told me is, for you to be better, you need to listen. You need to listen to people. They know what they've been doing for many years. They have more
Hmm.
experience than what you have. And when you wanna do one step, you got to search, you got to ask him questions, and you got to say, "Oh, okay, I know what I have now. I know what we do." But
Yeah.
at least you will hear what those people have been telling you, and you got the options, you know. And
Yeah.
I think is when people when a lot of experience tell you things is because they went there,
Yeah.
so that's what we're talking about. So I think you can listen, you can learn, and you can go far away. Now people say something to you and say, "Oh, no, it's okay," and you say it's okay every single time because you want to take a new way.
Hmm.
Mm, no, it's
It's the ego, letting that ego turn off for a bit. That there's sometimes when there are players that can be right, right? They're looking at it from a different perspective, and the coach isn't. But the majority of the time, the coach has probably or most likely been a player himself, has probably found himself in that player's state of mind in that current situation,
yeah.
probably dealt wrong with that situation, and the coach, his other coach, tell them, and now that lesson sinked in, and so now
I
he's
think it's I think it's in life, Alexander. It's
Mhm.
in every single thing you do in life. You know, you can be the best lawyer,
Yeah.
and you listen to people. You are a great lawyer. You got a lot of experience, but they can still help you
Yep.
because two people, three people can think more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And those people that have different view, like you have, like you do a journalist and do, you know, talking to people in magazine and try to, and you were learning every single time what is the best way to do a very question sample, correct?
Yep.
Or do more deep questions
Yep.
and try to, because I see people asking questions, but they are hurt feelings to other people, and try to find a way that you can do that question what you're looking for, but you will listen to people teaching you how you can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that's the more important thing, but it's like I say, it's a package. It's not only one things and you will be pro and you will be a Messi,
Yeah.
because that's not true. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of packets. It's a lot
Yep.
of packets. It's a lot of things. You
Yeah.
know,
But
so
but
you can.
also it also comes down to the simple things. Learning to listen. It's a phenomenal skill. You need that. Even the ability to ask questions. I remember I'm not sure if you follow, but he's a person named Tony Robbins. Not in the soccer industry. It's just a professional coach who coaches CEOs, business owners. And he said, you change the quality of your questions, the quality of your answers changes.
Exactly.
And so I was like, wow, that. And I was like, now I've been starting to implement that in everything I do. And also players, can ask a coach a deeper question that's going to get a deeper response and can actually create a deeper impact
Exactly.
in their
Exactly.
life. But I mean, that's been it, Victor. First off, I want to thank you again for taking the time to
No problem.
hop on this soccer interview and answer a couple of my questions. I think this is going to help a lot of soccer players. And also, I want to thank the FC Dallas as well, because without them, well, this probably or most likely would have not happened. But either way,
Yeah. Well, I believe every single coach came like for other country.
yeah,
I'm an Argentinian and became to this country with soccer just started growing,
yeah,
and I'm feel part of this process,
mm-hmm,
and I've been pushing for change things better for the players, for the kids. My kids are Americans.
mm-hmm,
I'm American citizen too,
sure,
so I have a lot of love for this country, and I believe every single coach with my experience, we can give a little help, to make it better
yeah,
in our soccer staff. I think there can be big impact, for those young boys and young girls that they wanna maybe be a coaches in the
yeah,
future, because like I say, a lot of guy was not playing pro, but later they became great coaches, like a Mourinho,
yeah, exactly,
you know. So I believe we coaches can have a huge impact in the soccer community, helping them and helping the parents to be a better parents for the kids in
yeah,
soccer. I know about life. That's you raise your kids whatever you want to raise, that's your
Yeah.
problem. But I say, to be better in soccer, to kids enjoy and do the same thing in the future with their own kids,
Yep.
So I think it's very important for us. And thank you very much for inviting me.
Yep.
And whatever, like I said, whatever we can help, I will be there.
All right. Thank you very much, Victor. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. Take care, Alexander.
All right. Bye-bye, Victor.